Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about RC cars and what I think is probably the best little gift you can get for a budding RC enthusiast in 2020. Welcome back. Thank you so much for watching the video. Today we're going to talk about something that I've been kind of involved in my entire life. I've always had some kind of interest in RC cars. I was into them as a kid. I raced some competition level cars for a little bit, and I got into the buggy off-road stuff, as you can see behind me. That kind of set the tone. I'm also a Jeep guy. I've always been building off-road vehicles and been involved in some kind of automotive thing since I can remember. Anyway, we're going to talk about one of the best little crawlers that you can buy today. And we're gonna start right now. This is an SCX24. This is built by a company called Axial. And essentially, this is your starting point if you want to get into realistic scale crawlers. And what I mean by scale crawlers, it has a full multi-link suspension system. It has solid axles, front and rear. It has drive shafts that feed both of those axles. And a suspension system that is completely active, right? So let me show you an example here. All right, so we've got articulation on both axles, front and rear, okay? And then it also has a steering servo right up here that mounts to the front axle and uses a panhard bar like what you'd find in a normal full-size vehicle. What makes this stuff so cool is this little truck will crawl over almost anything that's appropriate for its size, and it does it in such a realistic way that you're kind of captivated by how it works. And if you have any little gearheads in your family and you've got a son or a daughter who's really into how cars work and how things function, this is such a wonderful way to introduce them to mechanics and how to work on something, because every single part in this vehicle can be modified, adjusted. You can completely tear this thing down to the frame. Yes, it has a real frame, a ladder style chassis like a normal vehicle would, a C-channel chassis, and you can tear it down and you can rebuild it into a completely different vehicle. There's a huge community surrounding these vehicles, and there's a guy that I'll put the link in the description. I can't remember his name right now, but he builds a 3D printed tubular chassis to turn a truck like this into what's like a competition style, like Jeep Wrangler, like an old YJ or a Samurai or a FJ40, a Toyota Land Cruiser. And so you can turn a truck into this completely one-off custom looking vehicle that looks even more real and functions even better due to better suspension travel and limitations within the chassis that this has. I mean, it's insane. The other part of it is the price. This truck right now, I think you can get on sale for about $110, $120 depending. There's a newer version of this that's a Jeep Wrangler, the new JL style Jeep Wrangler. It's about 130 bucks. And then there's this guy, which is called the Deadbolt. Now this is my Deadbolt. I modified this one so that my son and I could play together. My son is 6, and he drives a little Chevy C10 truck around, and I drive the Deadbolt. Now mine's been modified to lower the body down on the chassis. I've installed brass wheel weights inside the wheels here. You can see that little glowing brass piece just barely right there. That lowers the center of gravity and gives more weight to the actual lower part of the truck. I've repositioned the battery. Instead of being in the back, I've moved it to the front of the truck to put more weight towards the front. I've also lengthened the wheelbase. Basically, I've just done a bunch of little tinkering. Nothing that costs a lot of money. To be honest, most of it was free modifications I made. I even had to make a custom drive shaft. And we'll go, we'll call it custom. It's actually just kind of 2 pieces of plastic shoved together until they work. And I upgraded the steering servo to replace the one that I broke, trying to steer against some rocks for too long. But basically, what I'm trying to get at here is you can start your son or your daughter off on a mechanical hobby grade RC vehicle for about $110, a little bit less. Out of the box, it comes with everything you need. So truck, transmitter, battery and charger, you're good to go. However, it's always nice to have an extra battery laying around. It can charge while the other one's running. And then the other investment I would make, if you find that you're getting into this hobby maybe with your child as well, like I did, I would invest in a good charger, because a good charger will charge one of these batteries in an hour or less, 20 minutes sometimes if you have a fast charger or a fast charging capable battery, where this USB charger can take up to 6 hours. So this is the charger that I would recommend. I'll provide a link to this in the description. This is a lithium polymer safe battery charger, as well as a nickel metal hydride nickel cadmium battery charger. So this will charge basically anything that it can hook up to. And it comes with a power brick as well as this pigtail system. And how this pigtail system works is this plugs into the power output on the actual charger, and you have in this pigtail every single type of battery you probably would need at this point. It even has a couple open leads, and if you're, halfway decent at some soldering or you have some good butt connectors, you can add in your own lead, which is what I did to charge the batteries that come with these vehicles. On the grand scheme of things, these trucks come with everything that you need on a very basic level. So if you want to step that game up a little bit and get yourself a little bit more enjoyment, faster charging, longer run times, maybe upgraded battery, I would pick up a charger like this. I'd pick up an extra battery or two, but at that point, you're good to go. These trucks function in stock form incredibly well, and they're very, very capable. One of my favorite things to do is to take these trucks to the beach and actually dig out a track, and my son and I will sit at that track that we dug out of the sand and just have a blast. It's pretty amazing. It's good time waster while the sun's out. That's my recommendation. I think these are pretty amazing. They're phenomenally capable. They have amazing amounts of upgrade capability down the road. So if you get into it and you really want to see what they can do, the other cool thing is they can crawl across your desk. Like, they're small enough. One second. Let me show you the scale here. Move this stuff out of the way. This is what's called a 1/24th scale truck, okay? That's a 1/24th scale truck. The RC trucks that we're used to, you're probably used to seeing, is this. That's a 10th scale truck, okay? Much different. Much different. This can easily drive on your desk, where this, not so much. Okay, this truck here, this is $179-ish. That's a really good deal if you can find a battery and a charger with a truck that size for $179. Usually for all of that together, you're looking at about 200 bucks. So for $110, you get a truck, a transmitter, a battery, and a charger, and you can be using it right when you buy it. If you're at all a gearhead, this is the way to go. If you do purchase one of these and find yourself wanting to get into the other parts of the hobby, faster, speedier vehicles, you didn't invest a lot into this little crawler, even though it's very capable and can go crawl around your backyard all day. You've got a relatively decent budget left over to buy something faster and a little bit more jump savvy. And they make smaller trucks like this 1/24th, 1/18th, and 1/16th scale that are Baja style trucks. So you can still keep it small scale, use a lot of the same batteries, and keep your parts breakage to a minimum. The bigger you go, the easier it is to break parts. There's just more inertia flying through the air and makes things a little bit easier to snap. So nonetheless, great place to start. So that about wraps up this video on what I think is the best RC crawler you can buy for your youngster if they're showing some interest in this field. You get a really great base to start. It's upgradable in every way to a scale that is pretty ridiculous, and you get a really good value for what you get in the box right now. Great piece. Links will be in the description for both of these trucks in stock form, as well as the charger and batteries and everything that I have used and have good luck with, so stuff that I recommend. Anything you buy off those links is obviously going to help my channel, so I truly appreciate it if you do shop with that. Otherwise, keep in mind, if you're shopping through the holidays, use my affiliate link anyway. Anything you buy helps benefit my channel just a little bit. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. It's great talking to you and seeing you guys. I will see you next week. Bye.